You're watching Kickin' It on Route 66. Sponsored by the law offices of Wood and Peterson and Griffith Motor Company.
So, Tawnya, before we explore Route 66 in Jasper County, Missouri, I have a multiple choice trivia question for you.
Ooh, I love trivia.
Okay. Jasper County got its name from A, jasper, the stone commonly found in the county's creeks and riverbeds. B, Jasper, the hero of a Revolutionary War battle. Or C, Jasper, the identical twin brother of a famous friendly ghost.
Well, I'm going to go with B.
Correct.
Yes.
Sergeant William Jasper. All right, now I have a true false for you.
Okay.
Jasper County has a lot of fun, interesting historic sites along Route 66.
You made that easy. Of course it's true.
Yes.
And we're going to see lots of them.
Let's do it.
All right.
Well, Dowe, according to the map, our next stop is just outside of Carthage, a few miles off of Route 66, Red Oak 2.
Captures the history and the spirit and kind of the Americana that Route 66 represents.
It's actually a community that people live in, which is really neat.
Not many. I think population right now, 9.
9, yep. And it was created by a man who wanted to move his hometown. Here it is.
Good morning.
Hi, Jeremy.
morning.
Welcome to Red Oak 2.
Yeah, it's good to be here. I'm
Perfect.
Dowe.
I'm Jeremy, the Parson Morris.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
We've met?
Tawnya
Yes.
Bach, I know you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Welcome to the parsonage.
This is great.
This is where I live.
This is wonderful.
Yeah.
You are kind of the parson.
They call me the parson on the route. It's even stamped on my my wallet here because I live at the parsonage at Red Oak 2, which is this property right behind me. It's an 1890s building, and the original parson lived there. So you're standing in the middle of a cornfield, and there's a farm over here, a 1920s farm that's original to this site. But Lowell Davis was a local artist, sculptor, painter. He was mostly a painter, but he made his money off these farm figurines in the 1980s. And he thought, okay, I had this cornfield, what am I gonna do? I think I'm going to move buildings from my original hometown of Red Oak 1, which is about 20 minutes east of here on Route 66, and create my own town. So he wanted to kind of create a 3D painting. Like his miniatures, you can walk through the big version of the same buildings. The first building that Lowell actually ever moved here, our feed store. And once he moved this one, he's like, well, I need to collect another one. So he just kept going down the line here, making the front of Red Oak. The Civil War was pretty rough in Jasper County, and a lot of the wooden structures were burned. I only know of about 6 different sites that actually survived the Civil War. We got 3 right across the street from me right here. We got an 1860 two-story cabin, which was considered a mansion in its time. The George Hornbeck cabin from 1838, and in 1841, it was used as the first courthouse. That log outside there is a replica of the jury log, where they would actually go outside and meet by the jury log to decide the case. We moved that here log by log. You can see that they're hand-hewn logs. And then next to that is the Dalton Gang house. The Dalton Gang were at the same time as Jesse James, and they basically grew up there. So a single mom raised 8 kids. I think there was 1 marshal and 4 outlaws. A 17 Standard Oil station. This is one of the earliest gas stations in this area, and one of the oldest on Route 66. The tri-state area used to be all about mining, and there was a trolley system that took the miners to the mines and took the owners to Grand Street in Carthage. And as far as I know, there's only 3 of these trolleys still in existence. I guess this is one of them. Well, we have a general store here. That was kind of the Walmart Supercenter of Red Oak 1. Lowell grew up there in the back. His father actually ran the store, and that's where he learned art. That was the first residence of Lowell's when he moved here. He actually moved to the 1860 Klingensmith cabin, and it's really cool in there. He did like a spiral staircase in there, and all the cabinets are kind of off. One thing I like about the houses here, everyone has their own personality. A lot of people are just kind of stunned that people live here, because it looks kind of like a prop town. It's almost like a movie set. But we get people from all over the world, believe it or not. We're just a ghost town in a cornfield, but we get about 60 countries that visit us every year. So international traffic is actually our biggest fans.
So where are you folks from?
We're from Sweden.
Are you going to drive the entire route from Chicago to Santa Monica?
Yes, that's the plan.
And why do you want to do that?
Actually, to experience what we have been watching in the movies, and the culture, and plus all these buildings and small rusty cars, and we don't see that kind of things.
Most of these buildings at Red Oak were moved here, but there's a few that were just kind of fantasy buildings that came out of Lowell's sketches. And this is one of those.
The architecture influenced his art. In this case, it was the reverse.
Correct. So this came out of just a sketchbook of his. Those are actual stones from real people that did exist. The monument company either had to replace those because they fell over, they broke, and so these were just sitting in a yard. We got permission from the families to make a graveyard. But there is one resident of this graveyard that's a real person, and that's Lowell Davis. He made his own grave. It's in the sunflowers there. In front of us here is the Red Oak Child Care Center. We don't have a key. We don't have a key for it, so.
It does say Child Care Center on it.
Yeah, 50 cents.
50 cents per hold.
And we have some toys in there for the kiddos.
Oh, nice sharp objects.
This one is open to the public, and it's kind of fancy too. I'll show you one.
Adjustable sizes. Accommodates anybody.
I'll show you one more outhouse out here too. An outhouse that he loved is one of his favorites. If he'd win a Civic Award, you'd think whoever gave it to him, and pop it in there. So that's his trophy case.
That tells you what he thought of awards.
Yeah, exactly. Lowell just loved animals just kind of roaming around doing their thing. And so Cackleberry Park is kind of a tribute to chickens, and we have peacocks, turkeys, roosters.
Was Lowell creating art to the end?
He was. He had a harder time painting at the end, so he worked on a lot of metal work. You'll see about 50 metal pieces around town that he made signs for businesses and sculptures. So basically this is, people ask me when they arrive here, they say, what is this place? And that's a good question. I've lived here 10 years. I'm not exactly sure, but it's definitely an ongoing art project. It's historical preservation. We have about 50 or 60 historical buildings that we saved. It's a roadside attraction. We're on Route 66 and the Jefferson Highway, and mostly it's our yards. You're standing in our yards.
I'm Will Peterson of Wood & Peterson Law Firm. My partner Andy Wood and I specialize in injury law. For more than 30 years, we have protected our clients' rights and helped them navigate the system, deal with insurance companies and medical providers, and have fought to make sure our clients get the money they deserve for the injuries they've suffered. Andy and I will meet with you free, no strings attached, with you and your family to discuss your case and how we can help. We have offices in Joplin and Neosho and have represented thousands of clients throughout Southwest Missouri.
So as traffic increased on Route 66 back in the day, families needed places to stay. And you'll see a lot of cool historic motels along the way, including a couple as we approach Carthage here.
And some of them have changed names over the years, but originally we've got the Lakeshore Motel, Kell Lake Motel, built in the 50s because of Kellogg Lake, which was a man-made lake built in 1954.
Yeah, you'll see them really right in the area of what's called the Crap Duster, created by Lowell Davis. And there it is.
It's original, that's for sure. And that's right on the intersection of the realignment that changed for Route 66, where you could see it takes Highway B, or now it's along Highway 96.
Think of all the families who would have stayed here for a night, maybe picnicked here, maybe done a little fishing. Well, no better.
So pretty. When we were at Red Oak 2, we saw the building that was used as the very first Jasper County Courthouse.
But throughout the history of Route 66, as people approached Carthage, they would have seen a different courthouse. It's right there. It's an amazing site. There's a lot of history. It's been here since long before the highway has been here. And to this day, it blows people away. Looks like a castle.
It does. It's so big. Looking for a place to stay overnight on Route 66, you could stay at the Boots Court Motel.
There it is. You know, a lot of famous people have stayed here over the years since it was built in 1931.
That's right. Clark Gable stayed here twice in room 6 and 10.
And possibly also Gene Autry and Mickey Mantle.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, they don't even have TVs in the hotel rooms.
No, because they wouldn't have back in the day. But you know what they do have?
There's a radio.
A radio in every single room.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
The guests would actually park right in these openings. Which could be a challenge if you have a big car. If you want to learn more about Boots Court or even buy a souvenir, there's a visitor center next door.
So, Tawnya, as amazing as this is during the daytime, you know what, it really is a stunning sight.
At night,
Why would that be?
because that's when the lights come on.
That's when the magic happens.
The neon lights.
So, Tawnya, imagine late 1940s. It's post-World War II. There's a baby boom going on. So all of these young families, they need something to sometimes entertain the kids in the evening, but they're limited entertainment options. Television doesn't exist in this area. But, you know, there's radio. There are movie theaters, but if you have a bunch of kids and they may be noisy, you don't want to disturb the other patrons. And so what would your options be in the 1920s?
It'd be nice to have them confined in one vehicle.
How about
A drive-in.
a drive-in movie theater? This one, Route 66 Theater, Carthage, Missouri, built in 1940.
That's right. And this theater did successful, this drive-in, for decades and stayed operating until the 80s.
Well, you know, these drive-in movie theaters, they were popping up like mushrooms all across the country. There were thousands of them at one point nationwide. And yes, they were booming through the 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond.
Well, it closed in 85, it reopened in 1998, and still has the original post where the radios used to hang, helping to mark where each parking spot would be.
Yeah, the technology has changed over the years. You know, it used to be these metal speakers, and eventually they're using radios. So the technology improves, and I think a lot of those baby boomers were nostalgic about drive-in movie theaters, and so, yeah, it comes back and it's doing well to this day.
I would remember $6 car loads where you could pile as many people as you could into the vehicle, and it was only $6.
You know, some other memories people would have from drive-in movie theaters would be as teenagers going on dates, but we're not going to get into that. We'll let people use their imaginations.
Good idea, Dowe.
I'm Will Peterson of Wood and Peterson Law Firm. My partner Andy Wood and I take personal injury seriously. We've represented thousands of folks throughout Southwest Missouri in their automobile accident cases. If you or a loved one have been hurt in a car crash, call our law firm for a free consultation to discuss your case and how we can help. We have offices in Joplin and Neosho and are available 24/7 by phone or by direct message at neoshoattorney.com.
So, Tawnya, I'm getting kind of hungry. How about you?
Yeah, you know, I am too, Dowe. Maybe something kind of sweet.
In fact, maybe something super sweet.
How about ice cream?
Ooh, that sounds like a super idea.
Yeah, what if we had Superman ice cream at Supertam?
Super!
Hi,
cool.
welcome to Supertam, where everything is Superman.
Ah, super. This is amazing.
So in 2006, a man named Larry Tamminen had retired and decided that he wanted to share his love of Superman and share his collection. So he bought this building and started putting all of his things in it for everyone to enjoy.
It originally wasn't called Supertam.
Right. It was Superman Ice Cream Parlor, and he was issued a cease and desist order by Warner Brothers. So he actually argued in court and got kind of a partial win. He was able to keep his signage the same, so that's how we still have Superman's likeness in the window. And then we also have the signage that says Superman Ice Cream Parlor. And he has the cease and desist order he framed and then posted it above the toilet. So that is where it will stay. And then when it was put up for sale, I just kind of said, hey, we should get that. And it all fell into place. My husband also, as a child, traveled Route 66 with his family. And that was some nostalgia for him. He said, oh my gosh, it's on Route 66. And then he was, it's Superman and Route 66. So then we were like,
about
okay.
as American as you can get.
Yes, let's go. And so we've kept it this way and added to, because we had our own collection, plus we keep adding.
You had your own Superman collection
we had our
before
own
you bought
Superman
this place.
things, yes. And I love Batman, so I had Batman things. And so we've added Batman and Wonder, we keep adding. You can't not collect when you own a place like this. So if you start at the door and work this way, it's the beginning of Superman. It's a timeline. It's of signatures and different ticket stubs and all of the things that he collected personally through his travels. And then also customers come in and hand us stuff all the time and say, I found this in the attic, do you want it? Yeah, we do. This case is a lot of his prized possessions that he loved. We haven't opened it, haven't touched it, is still how he had it. But they're some of the most prized possessions. Usually if there's a Superman ice cream in a parlor, it's vanilla and it's just different colors. And ours is actually 3 flavors. So would you like to have a taste?
Let's get some ice cream. Thank you.
Honestly, for travelers it is.
Oh, thank you.
Favorites, and we rotate flavors, so when something goes out, we add something back. But so this is the trolley. When we bought Super Tam, the windows and shell were here, and my son and husband finished out the floor. A couple friends came up and put flooring in with us, and then my husband has put the walls and painted and put things together. So now it's a place families can come and sit and eat their ice cream and just enjoy the day. We had no idea the impact and how many people actually still travel Route 66. We have a sign-in book, and in 2024 we have 38 countries signed in. All 50 states and 38 countries signed in 2024. It's a work of heart. It's definitely not to make money. We both have full-time jobs and run our ice cream shops, and we do it because we love people and we just love being a part of America and the Mother Road.
If a new vehicle is in your future, start at Griffith Motors in Neosho. For over 90 years, our family has been helping local families find the perfect new Chevrolet or GMC. Whether you're looking for a hardworking truck, a comfortable SUV, or a brand new car for the road ahead, you'll find it at Griffith Motors in Neosho. And if pre-owned is what you're after, be sure to check out our selection of quality vehicles at great prices. Stop by and see us in Neosho or shop online anytime at griffithmotor.com. Go with Griffith in Neosho.
So, Tawnya, of course, you're familiar with the song Get Your Kicks on Route 66.
Oh, yeah.
It mentions one town that's in Jasper County, Missouri.
Joplin, Missouri.
Of course. My question to you is, how many total towns are identified specifically in that song?
Oh. Is this multiple choice?
Nope.
Gosh darn it. 13?
The answer is coming up in a few minutes. First, we're going to check out Joplin, Missouri.
Let's do it.
So one of the best places to learn about Joplin history would be at the Joplin History and Mineral Museum.
And there's a couple of guys inside that are going to help us do just that. Hi.
Ned and Chris.
Yes.
I'm Dow.
Hi, Dow.
I'm Tawnya.
You're in the middle of Schifferdecker Park, which is probably one of the older parks in the Joplin system. Electric Park was when they tried to make an amusement park out of this area here. There were roller coasters, a big movie hut you could go to, campgrounds and other activities, as well as bandstands and the original Schifferdecker pool. And this building here which was originally a concession stand in Electric Park, was converted into a mineral museum in 1931. And it was minerals from all around the mining district brought here to kind of showcase the industry that was here in our area. We have the mineral section behind me. There's also the history section. We have the Black History of the Ozarks exhibit. We have House of Lords. We have the various other items that were here throughout Joplin. We have a 1927 original fire truck from the area, from our department, and just other businesses and things that were here in the area.
We get van loads from Japan, a lot of people from Europe, a lot of people from England. We've had people from Australia yesterday that came in, and all over the country, and they're traveling Route 66.
So you've been finding old postcards and collecting.
Yeah.
So
Why are you doing this? Why do you think it's important to remember this?
Well, I think it's good to know what Route 66 meant to Joplin and how it really helped with the commerce of the area. The motels, the restaurants, they were full of travelers because Route 66 went right through Joplin. It went through the downtown, it went right out 7th Street, and so it had to have a big economic impact at that time. And it was really the only southwest route that was paved.
And you put together a calendar that highlights some of these specific sites.
Yes.
Just kind of come through that.
Yes, this features the museum as it looked when it opened in 1931, right here in Schiffer-Decker Park along Route 66. We found negatives by Merwin Mosier, a photographer from Joplin, and we have his whole collection of negatives. This is a station at 7th and Wall Street in Joplin. It was a Firestone store shot during World War II when women were pumping gas because the men were obviously in the service.
These various shots, they just capture a little bit of what it was. It shows kind of the Americana that Route 66 represents.
Just a slice of what it looked like. And of course, that is the day Route 66 caved in just west of Schiffer-Decker Park. It was in 1940.
All of these hotels, motels, restaurants, gas stations would have been booming.
And ice cold, sweet wine.
And they had wine to give to the travelers. And of course, restaurants thrived along Route 66. This is actually the very first alignment through Joplin. And we have it mapped out here in red. It came to Zora Street, went over to Florida, and then a little bit of this street, then down Euclid, and then you hit Broadway. And then it jogged down Main Street, then right out Route 66.
You and I would probably travel the bypasses because we're going through a community because we have less time. The Europeans, the true travelers of the route, want the original route. They want the original, they want to go slow. Most of them are taking 2 or 3 weeks of vacation, and they want to follow as much of the original Americana as possible.
Are you seeing a lot of Europeans?
Oh, it's been amazing. And all of our bus tours that stop off at City Hall, we bring them over here for a photo op and all, and try to connect with it. It just gives them a perspective of where we are in the whole scheme of Route 66. This was put in 2013, and they're all UV coated, so they're really good facing south, especially. They really haven't faded.
they're not going to fade.
They probably will over time, but they say it's about an 80-year process. We did in this mural last April that Carthage Andy Thomas did for us. But these are the 21 major landmarks in the 11 cities that make up the tri-state corridor. So we're talking about Jasper County, we're talking about Cherokee County, and Ottawa County. When we see the international travelers come in, they could recite the history, but we don't really have those details to our lexicon in our school system. So it's an important piece of real estate we have here in Joplin.
Is the specific Bonnie and Clyde display to me?
Yes.
So, what story does this tell?
Well, it tells the story of the time Bonnie and Clyde actually lived in Joplin, and where the shootout happened on 34th Street and Oak Ridge Drive in Joplin for about 2 weeks. The law enforcement in the area, including the Missouri State Highway Patrol, was very suspicious that they might be the cause of some of the robberies in the area. The door is from the top of the stairs at the garage apartment where they had the shootout. After the shootout, it was taken out and put down in the lower area, in the garage area, and eventually it was donated to us. Bonnie and Clyde, actually belonged to Blanche. She left her camera in the apartment full of exposed film. The Joplin Globe processed the film that was in the camera, and then from that point it was picked up for wanted posters. And those are almost all the images you see of Bonnie and Clyde, and actually Buck, his brother.
Bonnie and Clyde have been kind of romanticized by film and stories over the years, but really what happened here was tragic.
They were murderers. I mean, that's the only way you can put it. But these are the two law officers right here. Well, the two law officers pulled up right in front of the apartment on 34th and Roanoke, and they were hit right away. One fell inside the garage, the other fell right beside the door.
And this is the building where that 1933 shootout occurred. The two law officers were gunned down right there in that driveway.
That's right, and members of the gang had to physically push a patrol car out of the driveway just to make their own getaway.
We actually call it America's longest museum because that's what they want. I tell the story several times that I talked to a guy from Scotland, right here actually. I said, yeah, but you guys have 500-year-old castles. You have buildings older than our oldest home. Yeah, but that's all we have. And we don't have, you can't touch it, you can't feel it, you can't smell it, you can't eat it, you know. We have the people that tell the stories. We have the food that's a unique cuisine that's along the route and things. So that's really the biggest thing that people are after is that Americana type stuff.
Joplin was great, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Before we wrap up Jasper County, I'm going to give you the answer to that trivia question.
Yeah, you just made me completely guess.
Right. How many towns are mentioned in the song Route 66? You said 13?
Yeah.
12.
So close.
Very good.
Okay.
I'm impressed.
Okay.
What are we doing next episode?
Well, let's go somewhere where there's 13 miles of Route 66.
Oh, very good.
See, I knew I had 13 in my head for some reason.
That's Kansas.
Let's go there in our next episode.
You may have known that Griffith Motors in Neosho has been providing automotive needs for over 90 years. But did you know that we service all makes and models? Did you know that we offer auto detailing services to the public? Did you know that we have great prices on new tires? And did you know that a free exterior car wash is performed with every service visit? Check out all our services in person, or you can visit us online at griffithmotor.com. Go with Griffith in Neosho.
You're watching Kickin' It on Route 66. Sponsored by the law offices of Wood and Peterson and Griffith Motor Company.